with Chase Real Estate and ChaseForeclosure.com. Hey, what I'd like to do is, every few months I do kind of like a little fact or fiction item, and here is one little factoid versus fiction. And the word on the street, you hear on the news that lumber prices are skyrocketing and through the roof. And one thing that's a fact. There's no doubt that the cost for lumber is definitely through the roof. The fortunate part for our investors is that we need very, very little lumber. We're usually remodeling houses. So as a result, the lumber hasn't been this whole lumber crisis unless we wanted to build giant decks on houses or be putting up walls. If you're doing new construction, essentially, this is definitely having an impact on new construction houses. Where it's not having an impact is on us that are buying, fixing, and selling properties. And one of the things that we're doing is we're being very, very resourceful. We're taking, what we can from other properties. A lot of times we'll tear out an old basement. Now we've got extra 2x4s, those types of things. We can reuse a lot of that stuff. So, which probably we should have been doing for a long time, but we're reusing those items. And that one is saving us money right now in a time when lumber is so expensive. We're actually finding ways to save money on the projects. New construction, they definitely are feeling the pinch. There's no doubt about it. But where that works in our favor is we're not competing with the builders at all. The cost for them to construct is way up here. And the cost for us to do our renovations is still floating at the same number where it's at. So we're not having to try to make right now a builder is trying to build a house. Well, they're going to be probably all in for $300, $350, all in lot, the whole kit and caboodle. And so among many of our properties that we have, we're not even competing with new construction because the price point where our homes are at are going to be sub $300,000. So this whole thing, sometimes you watch the news and you hear what's being said, and we all take that and we're like, wow, that sounds like that's bad for real estate. It depends on where you're at in real estate. And I'm the type of guy that's a glass is half full always. I'll find an angle on how it could be positive in some way, no matter what the situation is. But right now, I'm telling you, we've actually, because of this whole lumber cost, we're finding ways to reuse lumber that we normally would be throwing away and going into a dump now is being salvaged and reused, which is better for the environment. So it's like a win-win. So something that's great. So again, when you hear in the news these lumber prices and all this, does that really translate into what you and I do as real estate investors that are buying homes to flip them or resell them or rent them? No, it has really no impact at all. It's so slight. If we do need to buy a new sheet of plywood, it's $50, and so, but we rarely need to buy more than a couple sheets of plywood for the projects that we do. And we rarely need 2x4s. And so there's not a lot of wood that goes into our construction. Our cabinets and all of those items are kind of like a fixed cost. We've had that for a long time. We're buying the same stuff again and again and again. We're warehousing a majority of everything that we use. So for us, it's kind of like business as usual, just we're being a little bit more strategic with the wood when we throw it away instead of just throwing it all away. It's conserve it and reuse it. And so it makes just complete sense. So as always, please check out our website, ChaseForeclosure.com. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call. Thanks.